please?
For which movie?
And everything I do, people will wait in line to see.
Let's address the elephant in the room. I'm the hottest person in the world.
And if you disagree with this sentiment, I don't need your business.
Rachel Zegler just got caught doing the one thing you never do in Hollywood, ridiculing the fans who put you on the map. Leaked chat messages show her allegedly calling Disney diehards cringe, obsessed, and low IQ. Now the internet's ablaze, the boycott is real, and everyone's demanding she be recast as Snow White. You won't believe who exposed her, and Rachel's next move might have just ended her entire career.
If I'm gonna stand there 18 hours in a dress of an iconic Disney princess, I deserve to be paid for every hour that it is streamed online.
I don't need your business. That line from the group chat leak hit X like a bolt of lightning. First, it was just a few shady screenshots, blurry, unconfirmed, almost too wild to be real. But within hours, Disney fans had dissected every detail, from emojis to screen names. Soon it became clear these messages were actually from Rachel Zegler herself. And the content? Savage. They dress up like cartoon animals and cry at theme park parades, she allegedly wrote. I can't tell if they need therapy or some kind of restraining order. That was just the start. Quick pause, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe. You know the drill. Now back to the chaos.
Great, okay? It's great. I'm honored. I don't know why I sound so angry right now. I'm honored. Am I a psychopath?
Insiders say the group chat had a few of Zegler's longtime friends, an ex-PR assistant, and a rising influencer who supposedly leaked it all. The motive? Personal revenge. A source told Pop Culture Now that Rachel had been talking down to this person for months, so the leak was no accident. She assumed everyone in that chat was 100% loyal. But apparently, someone was recording everything, the source claimed. One specific screenshot shook the fandom hard. When a friend asked if she was pumped for the Snow White fan premiere in Anaheim, Rachel allegedly wrote, "Please. I'd rather eat glass than smile for another sweaty dad in a dwarf costume asking for an autograph." That message blew up, getting reposted 100,000 times in under 24 hours, triggering a fan revolt. Hashtags like #ReplaceRachel and #NotMissSnowWhite erupted, calling her ungrateful, elitist, and Disney's worst casting ever.
You know, the original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so.
Yeah.
Weird.
I'm a narcissist. I don't need your business.
In a bizarre twist, Rachel briefly liked a post defending her, then unliked it a few hours later after fans started tagging Disney's official account, urging them to cut her. Some think her silence is a legal strategy. Others believe she's just waiting out the storm. But with content creators, influencers, and even ex-Disney employees piling on, the damage may be done. A former Disney social media strategist told BuzzPop Weekly, "You can slam the script, the studio, even the marketing. But insulting the fans, the ones who buy the merch, the park tickets, and support these reboots, is career sabotage." Even theme park TikTokers, who usually avoid drama, are pushing Disney to respond publicly.
The studio released their Snow White remake starring Rachel Zegler, and in the process shattered more little girls' dreams than Harvey Weinstein. That's why no one bothered to show up. Empty theaters across the country tell the true story about this crime against cinema.
Enjoying the vibe and excitement of the streets of London.
Meanwhile, conspiracy theories are swirling about the leak. Some say it was a deliberate sabotage from inside Disney, an excuse to distance the company from a doomed film without officially firing its star. Others believe Zegler's own team is floating rumors that a former assistant deep-faked the screenshots, though tech experts say they look legit. The story reached new heights when a well-known voice actor from a classic Disney film tweeted, "I've met Walt Disney fans my whole life. They're unique in the best way. Without them, we wouldn't have jobs. Shame on you." It went viral, and fans began tagging other Disney legends to pick a side. So far, mostly silence. But as one popular tweet put it, Disney's Snow White has turned into Disney's Titanic.
The lead actress of the film decided to sit in an empty theater so she can watch her name flash on the screen as she squealed that her film was #1 for 6 days.
Here's the craziest part. Rachel hasn't denied any of it. No tweets, no IG stories, no fancy legal note. just radio silence. And in Hollywood, silence can be loud. 'Cause if these leaks are legit and the signs say yes, it's not just bad PR. It's a scandal that leaves lasting damage. Rachel Zegler thought she'd be Disney's next big deal. Now she's presiding over the rubble. Her mega-budget fairy tale became Hollywood's latest train wreck. Theaters are ghost towns, critics are savage, and fans are roasting her like it's a medieval festival. Snow White didn't just flop, it imploded. And at the center of it all is Rachel Zegler, the modern-day princess whose interviews may have hexed the film before it even arrived.
Rachel Zegler was a bad decision from day one. She can sing, I'll give her that, but she's got a lot of power, but absolutely no range. Plus, on the flip side, she can't act, and she's a smug big mouth, which even Disney now admits they couldn't control.
But before we dive deeper, let's rewind. This wasn't always the plan. Once upon a time, Rachel was Hollywood's golden girl. She won hearts in West Side Story, charmed critics, and soared up the A-list. When Disney cast her as Snow White, people were divided but still intrigued. A fresh face, a new angle, a bold creative move. They said she'd be the future, but the future had other ideas. Instead of celebrating the classic magic of Snow White, Rachel went on the offensive. She criticized the 1937 original, calling Prince Charming a stalker, slamming the love story as outdated, and labeling the whole premise weird. She didn't just modernize Snow White, she bulldozed her.
Most importantly, Zegler is not fairy tale princess material. She is a four-flop phony and a pure Hollywood poison. Her first movie, West Side Story, bombed. Shazam! Fury of the Gods double bombed. Y2K, even a bigger bomb. And now we have Snow White, the biggest bomb of them all.
She said this Snow White wasn't waiting around for any man and wasn't dreaming about romance. Instead, she aspired to lead, rule, and chase power. In her words, God forbid a woman want to find love, which she claimed was sarcastic, but it hit people as cold and dismissive. Rather than reimagine Snow White, she basically trashed her. Concept of a woman finding joy in love was treated like a punchline, something from the Stone Age. Fans weren't just surprised, they felt insulted. A once-beloved fairy tale suddenly sounded like a hard-edged lesson on politics and independence at any cost.
God forbid a woman dream about true love. We're all just sitting around here, oh, maybe I could be president one day. I hate men, I just want to be president.
Fastest way to tank your career, go out there and start running your mouth and trashing the original IP of the film you're in.
Feminist outlets cheered her on, but the wider internet erupted. Clips of Rachel sounding smug, annoyed, and downright dismissive started circulating. It wasn't just what she said, it was the attitude. The expressions. The eye rolls. People dissected every second like a legal hearing. No matter the context, the damage was done. TikTok creators added sarcastic reactions, YouTubers uploaded hour-long critiques that roasted each word. Soon, even folks who hadn't seen the movie were sharing memes mocking her. Criticism morphed into a cultural dunk session, and Rachel was the target.
Rachel Zegler is a loudmouth dope.
No, I've been getting a lot of questions about, how do I feel? Let's address the elephant in the room.
And everything I do, people will wait in line to see.
Think about it. Disney just spent over $250 million for a fairy tale hand grenade that went over budget, got reshot twice, replaced real actors with 7 CGI serial killers, booted the prince, banned True Love, and banished 2 of movies' history's most iconic songs. One of them just happens to be Someday My Prince Will Come. It's gone.
TikTok lit up with joke edits. They'd overlay dramatic music on her interviews, add biting captions, and splice in other influencers reacting with wide-eyed disbelief. YouTube channels churned out reaction videos, some ranty, some methodical breakdowns comparing her press run to legendary PR disasters. Over on X, the memes showed no mercy, photoshopping her face onto failed Disney characters, parody trailers for Snow Woke, even AI skit spoofs of her getting booed off set. The internet wasn't just skeptical, it was outraged. And then Rachel pushed even further. She posted a TikTok sketch of herself waltzing into a movie theater, all smiles, holding Snow White swag, trying to buy a ticket to her own flick. The bit was clearly staged. A theater employee played along. She leaned in and asked for tickets. Cashier Stoneface said, "Which movie?" Cue the awkward pause. The joke fell flat. It was meant to be tongue-in-cheek, but it came off as cringe. With the movie tanking in theaters and critics circling, it felt like she was ridiculing the flop instead of addressing it. It wasn't humility, it felt like evasion. A last-ditch PR attempt disguised as humor. The video showed her prancing around, brandishing Snow White popcorn buckets and smirking as if everyone should obviously know who she was. It had irony all over it, meant to poke fun at the idea that anyone would forget her name. But nobody was laughing. It looked forced, out of touch, awkward in that second-hand embarrassment way. People flooded the comments with accusations of arrogance and denial. Cutesy popcorn buckets, once fun promo items, now felt like props in a desperate PR stunt. Instead of stirring up excitement, the video became yet another meme, a glaring symbol of how hard Snow White had fallen. 'Cause Snow White didn't just underperform, it nosedived. With a $250 million production budget, a $150 million marketing tab, and pricey reshoots, Disney needed $1 billion to break even. Instead, it debuted at $43 million. By the second weekend, attendance sank by 66%. Worldwide, it's dragging itself toward $140 million, and that's being generous. It's not just a bomb, it's an epic failure. Then came the political pylon. Sean Lennon, John Lennon's son, called Rachel a stuck-up starlet. Retired race car driver Danica Patrick shared a scathing video, captioned simply, "Bye-bye." Straight to the point. The video slammed Rachel for corporate feminism and TikTok activism, blaming her for getting sidelined from future Disney projects like Toy Story 5 or the next Pirates film. Pure rumor, but it stuck. Then the Trump posts appeared. Rachel ranted, calling supporters a danger, wishing they'd never win anything again, basically making half the country the villain. Disney? Silent. Executives? Freaking out. Theaters? Still empty. Insiders whispered that high-level suits at Disney were livid. Investors demanded answers, and Disney searched for someone to blame. Guess who landed under that bus? Yep, the actress who once bragged that people would line up for her movies like the Winged Victory at the Louvre. Now the only line is online, with people waiting to roast her. Not that Gal Gadot escaped unscathed. She played the evil queen, and fans roasted her stiff acting, odd expressions, and robotic line delivery. Rumors popped up about on-set tension with Rachel. Then, the real volcano blew. Rachel made political comments about Palestine, which clashed with Gal's Israeli heritage. Filming got tense, press events turned frosty, fans picked sides, and nobody came out looking good. Critics, including Disney loyalists, tore the movie apart, calling it soulless, preachy, missing any sense of fun. They said it tried too hard to be empowering and forgot to be entertaining. Even the classic "Someday My Prince Will Come" was cut. 'Cause apparently, dreaming of romance is now considered backwards. Instead, we got a new girl power anthem about feeling trapped and smashing walls. Inspirational? Possibly. Magical? Nope. But the biggest twist in this train wreck is what happened afterward. The meltdown of Snow White didn't just tarnish Rachel's name, it rocked the entire industry. Studios began rethinking their woke remakes. Disney insiders told Variety they're scaling back political angles in future films like Lilo and Stitch. The Daily Mail reported an industry-wide pivot, casting shakeups, script overhauls, and marketing teams told to steer clear of anything that feels like a soapbox moment. All of it sparked by one movie. Rachel's confidence, once hailed as refreshing, is now called reckless. Her outspoken style, once celebrated, is blamed for one of Disney's worst box office debacles. She didn't just break a fairy tale, she might have ended an entire trend. In the end, Snow White wasn't rescued by a prince or a grand statement. It was crushed by hubris. Rachel tried to rewrite the story, but the audience wrote its own ending, a brutal one. If you love chaotic celebrity moments, cinematic flops, and major industry wake-up calls, remember to hit that like button, subscribe for more, and ring the bell so you're always first in line for the next Hollywood meltdown.